Welcome back to Lotus on Track and Silverstone as we get ready for the first round of the 2012 Lotus Cup UK. Before we head into the racing, Hayley's down the pits with some of the drivers.
Hi, we're here with Liz Halliday. Hi Liz.
Hi.
How did qualifying go?
Well, I didn't actually get out in qualifying, unfortunately. We had a trouble with the supercharger in practice, which thankfully we're able to get it back to the garage, and they're working hard on it. But it meant that we weren't quite able to solve the problem before qualifying. So first race of the year, and I'll be starting from the back of the grid. But you know, full props to JDR Racing for getting this thing back out there for me.
Great. And you've raced before. What made you choose Lotus Cup UK?
Well, I was hoping to get back into racing a bit. I've been focusing on my equestrian career for the last few years, and really wanted to be doing some racing, but I couldn't feasibly be traveling internationally all the time with how busy I am with my 3-day eventing. So I knew John Danby Racing through the historic cars I ran a couple of years ago, and I knew they knew a lot about Lotuses, and we just looked at the championship, and it looked great. You know, lots of competition and great cars, and you know, these are proper race cars, and it's a lot of fun.
Adrian, you've just been out for qualifying. How did you get on?
Yeah, really well. It's the first time out in the car. Major Sports Cars have built an awesome car. I mean, it was pretty easy to be, in fact. I could have gone a bit faster, but I did have a coming together with one of the other cars. So we did cut our qualifying short, but the car is absolutely awesome. It's definitely got lots more potential to come out of it. So first time out of pole, so yeah, I'm really pleased.
It's a new car, new season, new start. We built the car over the winter using all our latest ideas, and we hope to do really well during the season.
ES Motorsport contacted us at Autosport a couple of years ago and said, hey, how about making some shocks for us for the Lotus series? What we're looking for is a shock we can drive it every day and then race it at weekends in the trophy. Even one of the 211s in the next group up as well, the Cup UK. So it's just been a bit of a learning curve because they're a different car, and it's a question of getting track time with them and spending some time with the drivers and learning. And so far, so good.
So here we are for the Lotus Cup UK race. Got a fantastic grid of over 40 cars. Let's see the action.
Promises to be a thrilling race on what is a pretty windy and chilly day here at Silverstone. It's Adrian Hall who lines up in pole position. Alongside the front row, it's going to be Rob Fenn who starts the car. And then Martin Donnelly, look for him in the Evora back in third place. Andrew Bentley well up in the production class, starting in 12th position. Last year's champion Steve Quick also well up inside the top 20. Huge field of cars. Paul McNeely and BJ Chong somewhere down in 28th. They could be ones to watch to come up through the field. Likewise, when Fulvio Musi takes over number 38 car from Charlotte Burridge, he could progress very rapidly up through the pack. But watch for him, 42nd place, Liz Halliday. Problems in qualifying for Liz. If that car has been sorted, then she will be a real podium challenger. Rolling start as ever in Lotus Cup UK, and away we go. It's a good start from pole from Adrian Hall, who is going to lead the pack into Copse Corner for the first time. Martin Donnelly trying to bully his way up into second in the Evora. David Harvey in a somewhat unique 340R in amongst production front runners Warren Scott and Ken Savage, going door handle to door handle as ever, is up towards Beckett's for the first time. It is Adrian Hall that leads it. Martin Donnelly is second, and then Rob Fenn in third, with Chris Setters up to fourth position. Campbell Cassidy also looking to, I think it's Chris Randall in fact, in the Europa, looking to make progress in fifth position. Everybody streaming through and down the hanger straight for the first time. But it's Adrian Hall who's got the advantage, having converted pole position. But Donnelly launches a move up the inside into Stowe Corner. He left that so late on the brakes, and through he comes to take the lead of the race away from Adrian Hall in the first lap. We're in car with Liz Halliday as she looks to elevate herself up through the field. Seems to be doing that with quite some success at the moment, down the hanger straight, blasting past some of the production class cars as the race leaders already into club. And now that Donnelly's got the lead, will he be able to pull away? This car is pretty much fresh out of the box, and they were saying after qualifying there's an awful lot they need to do to really sort that car into a competitive proposition, but at the moment it's looking very good as it is. Halliday still in the traffic here. She's just up behind Clive Wills in the number 6 car. Should be able to pick away past a couple of the production cars now en route to Abbey. Here we go, up through the gears, plant the right foot, 3 abreast just ahead of her. That's going to be very busy as Chris Randall has come up into 4th position. Good battle as well between Mark Gooday and Steve Train, a little bit lower down in amongst the 211s. Steve Train, the bright blue car, as everybody streams through. There is Ken Savage in the number 2 car. Ken, who lost last year's championship in the cruelest of circumstances, will be looking to make the 2012 championship his, but he is being pressurised by Stuart Plotneck as we get the change for 3rd position, and Chris Randall goes through past Rob Fenn, the Lotus Europa. Started going very, very well towards the end of 2011. Reliability's been the issue with that car, but if it can keep going for the whole hour, then it really is a race-winning proposition. But Rob Fenn immediately back onto Chris's tail, looks to try and pile the pressure on in the Go Green Motorsport car, through to complete the lap, and it is Martin Donnelly, the former Lotus Formula 1 driver, who leads the way from Adrian Hall in 2nd position. 3rd place is Chris Randall. Everybody else is fighting for 4th, and it's just Chris Setters, or is it Rob Fenn, around the outside through Cops Corner. He's got Mark Gooday as well, with Steve Train looking to join into that scrap. Simon Deacon is there or thereabouts as well, just towards the back of that queue. And in fact, it's Mark Gooday who has somehow come through into 4th position in the Lotus 211. Very distinctive looking car, but then he runs wide through Beckett's, and Rob Fenn is going to reclaim that place around the outside. Through goes Fenn, and Gooday is now going to have to challenge down the hanger straight. Production cars all streaming through, with Liz Halliday in amongst them, still continuing to pick her way up through the field with so many cars. She's going to be overtaking really throughout the entire duration of the race, but she's cleared 10 or so on the first lap already. Again, Gooday and Fenn continuing their scrap, and Mark Gooday once more runs wide, and that is going to allow Rob Fenn back through. So Gooday, we saw him run wide at Beckett's. He also fails to get the car into the apex at Vale, so he slips down momentarily once more into 5th position, accelerating on towards Abbey. The leading trio now braking well clear. They're going to be close enough to challenge into Abbey, not quite, so he just follows through on to the tail of Rob Fenn. Donnelly remains in the lead of the race, with Adrian Hall in a very solid 2nd place, and then Chris Randall coming up nicely in 3rd place in the Lotus Europa. These three, the top 3 of the race overall, and they are fighting out for the Lotus Cup UK Supersport Championships. 2 championships in the Lotus Cup UK this year, the Supersports and then the Production Championship, and this is the fight for 2nd in the Production Championship. Rob Boston's disappeared up the road, and then it's Steve Quick, last year's champion, running 2nd. Andrew Bentley right on his tail, with Warren Scott in very close attendance as well. Ken Savage, last year's runner-up, just slipping to the back of that train as they turn into Abbey. Very, very close battle for this position, and it's Andrew Bentley who looks to be challenging Steve Quick around the outside as they turn into Village. He keeps his foot in, does Andrew Bentley, and does Quick give him racing room? Yes, he does. Very fair driving from Steve Quick. So Andrew Bentley's got the inside line into loop. He draws alongside and ahead momentarily, but I think that Quick is going to have the better exit through entry and down the Wednesday straight. He does, but it's Warren Scott who's got the best run of the 3, and he's got the inside line into Brooklands on the brakes. Who's going to have it? Scott noses ahead, but has he got the car slowed down enough? No, he hasn't. He runs wide. Steve Quick immediately goes through, and around goes Warren Scott, his 2nd spin of the weekend at Brooklands. This one, though, with less injurious consequences. He should rejoin fairly easily once he finds the gear. So here is Rob Boston, the production class leader, in pursuit of David Harvey. But look at this, Liz Halliday is scything up through the pack. She is now well into the production class battle in the 37 Lotus 211. Of course, she is racing for Supersport Championship points, but is making excellent progress up through the race. Right here is a replay of Warren Scott's adventures. He was just too quick into Brooklands, then too enthusiastic with the right foot. Around he goes, losing several positions into the mix. So unfortunate there for Warren Scott. Back to the lead of the race overall, and here's Martin Donnelly, who still leads it from Adrian Hall. A pair of them having a tussle that's really keeping the crowd here at Silverstone very, very entertained. And Donnelly, you would argue, punching a little bit above his weight in the Evora, because Adrian Hall's been all over his tail, but he's just not been able to find a way past the very wily, very experienced Martin Donnelly. This is looking good for Adrian Hall, though. In 2nd place, he looked very impressive in qualifying earlier on. A spin for Chris Setters, so that takes him down from about 5th position. Not quite sure what happened there. We've also got a spin out of shot as well from Steve Train, so Train rejoins as well. So the place lost by Chris Setters, he's probably regained, because Steve Train spun almost immediately. So they both rejoin. They're still well into the top 6 of the race overall, as the Steve Quick and Andrew Bentley battle remains, with now Liz Halliday onto their tail, trying to pick her way past them. And this is going to be tricky here for Liz, because Bentley and Quick have been involved in this battle really throughout the entire race, and they're just concerned with their own race and the production championship points. She's right in car with Liz Halliday, accelerating down the hanger straight, flashing the lights, letting the two ahead know that she's there. Andrew Bentley sees her, Steve Quick sees her now at the last minute. So Halliday gains the 2 places in the race overall, and no change either for Steve Quick or Andrew Bentley, although not for want of trying, as Bentley now launches his challenge around the outside at Stowe corner, just sliding the rear of the car. As into the pit lane we've got Adrian Hall from 2nd place in the race. Hall peels into the pit lane. What a shame, what a disaster as well for Adrian Hall. The team head to the car, although the slightly forlorn body language would suggest that that is game over for today. Chris Setters continues his recovery drive, picking his way past Simon Deacon into Copse Corner, so Setters gains another place following on from that spin. So many cars entered into this race, very, very full grid, and the drivers therefore are always going to be busy, either with cars they're racing against in the race overall or indeed traffic. Well, now that Setters is past Simon Deacon, his next target is going to be Mark Gooday, who we saw briefly jinking through Beckett's. He's about 4 seconds on up the road as engine cover off for Adrian Hall, the car being wheeled back into the garage. So unfortunately it would appear as if Adrian Hall's day is done, but a very promising start to the championship nonetheless for Adrian Hall. It bodes very well for the rest of the season. Right, now that Martin Donnelly has had Adrian Hall disappear from his mirrors, we've now got Rob Fenn, who is closing up onto his tail, so the pace in the Evora just beginning to go away from it possibly, and Donnelly cannot afford to rest here because he has got the hard charging found his tail, a battle further down the pack. This is very much the production class scrap. It's Lee Hodson and Nigel Ayres, pair of them side by side as they were throughout much of the Lotus on Track Elite race yesterday, and side by side again in the Lotus Cup UK. On to complete another lap is Martin Donnelly, who continues to lead it from Rob Fenn. We are going to go for a short break from the action here at Silverstone. Join us in a few moments' time to see who will prevail in the first round of the 2012 Lotus Cup UK.